I just see the cat tail like in Debbie's face.
Sorry.
It's like that shark fin from Jaws.
That was great. What good timing. Excellent. I just want to say props to Debbie's cat, Chewy, on that. How did he know that we were going live at that exact moment? That's when you should Well, it's that cat instincts. Like cats, they know. Oh, are you working on something on your laptop? Is it very important? Okay, it's time for me to take a nap. There. That's there. It's like, oh, what is a cat nap? Is that you find someone who's working hard and then interrupt them and take a nap in front of them and show your butthole to their webcam before you do it?
Yes,
that's a cat nap.
And she
Welcome
likes
to MCU Mondays.
She likes to rub up on the microphone too. I don't know if you guys ever hear that or not.
Oh, we do.
That's usually when I throw her down, like, get off of here.
Debbie's cat trying to get on the air the entire time.
Trying to get that 15 minutes of fame.
Well, you know,
Before
MCU
me.
Mondays. MCU Mondays is the place to do it because there's no bigger spotlight than what happens on this show. Hosted by me, Chris, along with my co-host, Debbie. We're both glad to be here, I know. We're joined, as we often are, by David down below us. David rarely, he never has any cats interrupt, but sometimes you do see a child in the background.
Yeah, Luke likes to go to bed right in the middle of the show. So you'll see a little ghost float.
All right. And we got the Geek Gauntlet podcast in the chat. What's up? How is everyone? I think we're all pretty good. You know, She-Hulk is over. Not to say that that's why we're good, but you know, we don't have to be talking about it anymore. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's a plus.
So whether you liked it or didn't like it, we're not talking about it today. That's it. That's the maximum amount we're talking about She-Hulk was that right there. Today it's all about some trailers have dropped. We've got Black Panther trailer we're going to watch that has Ironheart in it. We've got a brand new Ant-Man trailer, the first trailer for Quantumania. And we're going to talk all about that, and that's going to lead to a bunch of discussions, I'm very sure. And after that, we're just going to see where we're at. If you guys want to talk about something in the chat, let us know. We might end up talking about that. Otherwise, I think we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four because that's something everyone's looking forward to. And I just watched the 3 most recent ones, and it would be nice to have a really good new Fantastic Four movie. But the last one certainly.
Yeah.
Like to say that it's worse than the Silver Surfer is like that's pretty bad. Like, and that's not.
I'd rather watch the Silver Surfer than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I watch. You know. Well, you know, if we have time, we'll get to it. We'll talk about that. But for now, let's have the theme song, and then we'll talk about those trailers.
I'm so glad you left that in.
I was debating, but for now, it stays. For now, I might come up with something else. There have been some other ones. I've been watching some of my older, some of the original intros for this show to give me some inspiration back when the song was different. And yeah, there's a couple ways that I used to end it that I might have to bring back some of those. But I think that one is the most fun. Anyways, one thing Miss Marvel got right. I'm just kidding.
That's my favorite of the show.
I was teasing. Yeah, they got a bunch of stuff right. Still, damage control is not damaging or controlling any damage.
Controlling damage.
Yeah, maybe it's supposed to be like that. It's an ironic name, you know, like when there's a huge guy and he's called Tiny. Yeah, we're damage control. We don't do that.
Not so much.
It's an oxymoron.
Morons abound. Anyway, I know that's not what that means. Let's get this Black Panther trailer going. And to do that, I I should have already uploaded this, but I didn't because.
Slacker.
Yeah.
He's coming.
There we go. All right,
Hey.
that's got it. Let me pause the background music for a moment.
I don't think I've seen. Is this the most recent trailer?
So this is. It's not like a full trailer. It's more like a TV spot. It's got some repeated stuff. There's a couple new images. The big thing that people are talking about in this trailer is the fact that Ironheart is in it very briefly in her suit, and you kind of see it from a top down. But we'll watch it, and then I'll put it on repeat in the background while we talk about it.
He's coming.
Without the Black Panther, Wakanda will fall.
Vibranium. He's covered in it.
That can't be good.
Let's go!
Now is our time. To strike.
Marvel Studios, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Only in theaters, November 11th.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard the one part where they said he's covered in it. She said vibranium, he's covered in it. And we don't really know who they're talking about. I don't know if it could be Namor because he doesn't look like he's covered in it, but maybe, I don't know. I'd assume she was talking about someone else there. Let's go! Right around.
In it.
Right there.
Vibranium. He's covered in it.
Well, it looks like they're talking about him. I don't know.
I know, it looks like they're kind of like in a jungle or something when she says that.
And a lot of people have been wondering who the new Black Panther is going to be, but this trailer would seem to indicate that it's Shuri, unless there's several new Black Panthers, but that
See,
right there.
Yeah, that's the giveaway right there.
She's using the gauntlets, which we've seen Shuri use before. So unless they just incorporated that into the suit and it's somebody else doing it.
Yeah, there's been a couple of tweets on Twitter with a couple of the stars, and they said, you think you know who it is, but you don't.
Yeah, I've seen the same things. In fact,
So I don't know if that's just their way of trying to mislead it. But then, when you put something like that on the screen, it's like, well, really? Really?
Yeah, and so there's also one of the best glimpses we get. There's a couple other shots of her at night that I didn't actually see previously, but that was the inside the helmet there, as we're familiar from seeing Tony like that all the time. And then outside, just for a little bit, we get to see that. Kind of looks like, reminds me of Bumblebee, the Transformer. Almost.
Oh, I was
Because
going
it's
to
got
say,
like the wings, like the
gonna
way
say-
they did it in the Michael Bay films. Yeah.
what was the motorcycle from the original Transform? RC, was that her name?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm seeing right there. Either that or a Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Which makes sense. It's a robotic suit. It should look like those things. That's just what's from looking at it from that angle. That's what I'm thinking of. It'll be interesting to see it at all stationary, and find out how she's being introduced. Like, what, does she just live in Wakanda? Is she Wakandan? Like, what's her relationship to Tony Stark? Because there should be some sort, if she's even the spiritual successor of him.
I'm just curious as to how they're going to. I mean, obviously, we're dealing with a funeral here with T'Challa, and I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. How are they? How is he going to pass, if you will?
Mm-hmm.
But see, the Black Panther right there didn't had the claws though.
And that's what the thing is, like vibranium. I'm thinking like maybe you can change the shape and like go like "Guh-guh," and then you've got gauntlets instead of.
Maybe it's like Tony's nanobots.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because if they incorporate that, which his suit already seemed to be like that. Like, doesn't the helmet like?
Yeah.
Like that's technology that I think they have anyway. So, and that's part of the funeral right there. That's definitely going to be a big thing. I imagine that'll be like the opening is going to be the huge funeral, and then they'll go into how Namor's about to ruin their life. Apparently, without the Black Panther, you guys are screwed. How did you even get here? Wakanda is a landlocked nation. It's in the middle of Africa. There's no okay. Would you swim up a river? Damn the river. That's Stuart in the chat. Stuart. He says no. Wakanda forever. He says Scotland is better. Plus, it's real. Scotland forever. Oh, I would say real places. Yes. But yeah, Wakanda forever. We'll have to see on that. I'm interested to see what happens with Namor. What are they going to do with Wakanda? Because so far it's still kind of not been a big part of the MCU. So he doesn't look great. You talking about Namor?
As far as some of the, really, honestly, I mean, none of these costumes are exactly 100% comic accurate. None of them have been. They're taking some licensing with them to make them their own. You know, they're not part of the comic book universe. They're part of the MCU universe.
Well, the winged feet are comic book.
I did like this scene, the way that he like is fly running. It's super fly running. I think that's pretty cool. Like it looks like he's stepping on air, like running on air, the wings on his feet.
Kind of like
because if you're flying like this, if you're flying like Superman and you've got the little wings on your feet, you look like an idiot. But if you've got little wings on your feet and you're like running on air, it's like, oh, those wing shoes are dope. I got to get some of those. Screw these Jordans. I'm about to be dunking on everybody. Does that count as a travel? Do you have to dribble while you're in the air? I don't know. Something is off about that. So something's off about Namor. And it is trailers, so we'll see what he's like in the film. He looks pretty badass. There's one point where this happens. And he's just like, nah.
Not today.
Yeah, but he blocks it with his fist, you know. Now a real boss move would have just been to let it crack over his head and just not care. And like, yeah, I knew you were coming. I knew you were about to smack me in the head, but it means nothing to me.
Which is sad because I really like M'Baku.
Stop being a white male base. Well, I don't think. Okay, so he said, we just got told man bad, and now it's white's bad, and even the females are dragged into it this time. Well, She-Hulk. Oh no, we can't talk about that anymore today. So
we've used our allotment of She-Hulk for the day.
I've already talked about it as much as I was willing to. So I don't think Wakanda actually suffers from that type of thing as much. Even the first one, Black Panther, it was more. Plus, they had the Tolkien white guys. Literally Tolkien white guys.
Literally Tolkien.
Yeah. Because they were both in The Hobbit. They had what was it? Andy Serkis,
and, Martin Freeman,
and Martin Freeman's going to be back in this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the Tolkien white guy will be back. So damn, there was one. There was two. Yeah. And this time we've got the whole. Well, and that was actually the interesting thing about Black Panther was the threat was from within. You know, so at least they didn't do that. It wasn't like there's a white villain attacking Wakanda.
Yeah,
like, that would have been like, okay, good lord. But it was actually like an internal power struggle thing, all internalized. So it really did make Wakanda the entire focus of that. This is kind of actually that, you know, again, it could have been a white guy attacking. You got to look at it that way. In this case, it's Namor, and I guess we're gonna see. Some people were questioning, I've seen in comments on social media, they said, why did they make Namor a villain? And I think by the end,
he may
might
not be.
be. Yeah.
I was going to
Because
say, because I think
he's more of an anti.
I was going to say, I think
hero.
the actor who's actually portraying him came out and tweeted something about he's not the villain. He's just the anti-hero at this point.
Maybe
Well, it
it's
looks like they're
whoever
attacking
they said was
Wakandans.
covered in vibranium. Maybe that's the villain, whoever that is.
Oh, they were throwing us off.
And it certainly does look like he's fighting Wakanda, like there. He's taking a swing at Wakanda. There, it looks like he's threatening her. And that point right there, it looks like they're talking about him, but that... Nah, maybe that light isn't bright enough. I don't know. But, and then this guy literally attacks him right there. Wha-bam. But of course, that could just be the obligatory, we just met you, and now we fight. And then once that's done...
Well, my thought is that he is going to... A theory. I'm going to pose a theory. He will show up after T'Challa's funeral, like maybe even like right after T'Challa's funeral. He will pop up out of the river. He will have used the rivers and the waterways to get to Wakanda because he knows where it is, and he knows what Wakanda holds as far as the vibranium goes. So he's there basically. He's like, you have no more Panther. I'm here to help protect you. But because he just came out of nowhere, they're like, oh, heck no, and start going to town on him, and he's just fighting back. You know,
he does say, without the Black Panther, like Wakanda will fall. And it sounds like he's saying it very threateningly, but he could just be saying it to try and impress that knowledge upon them. Like, hey,
right,
stuff's on the way. You need a Black Panther. So yeah, there's a lot. We'll have to see it to actually find out what's going on. You guys got anything else on that before we move on to Quantumania?
November 11th. That's 2 weeks away. Something along that line.
Not very long.
Yup. Okay. So yeah, that was the Wakanda Forever clip. Showed us a glimpse of Ironheart. Still have no idea how this is like the first time she's even going to be in the MCU, which is almost unheard of at this point. She didn't even have like an end credit scene or a cameo somewhere. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. And so this is a brand new Quantumania trailer. Sometimes when we play these trailers on live streams, there's some sort of error. They give us a copyright claim and they say, you're playing. So if the stream shuts down or says something, we'll be right back. I don't expect that to happen, but it's happened before. So just figured I'd cover my bases and say that.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger?
Employee of the century.
Sense. But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
People still need help, Dad.
That's why we made this. It's like a satellite for deep space, but quantum.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm.
She knows
Turn
something.
it off. Now!
Secret universe beneath ours. What are you so afraid of? There's something I never told you.
Oh.
This place. It isn't what you think. I can get you home. And give you more time. If you help me. So, what's it gonna be? Batman.
Boom. So, thoughts?
I liked it. Well, I love the music. First of all, that was probably my favorite Elton John song.
Oh no, Tiny Dancer, but I do like Goodbye Yellow Brick.
But I don't like her short hair. But anyways,
No.
Yeah, this looks really good, and I think I forgot her name already. The mom, her.
Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer. I think maybe she's had an altercation with Kang before when she was down there.
I'm gonna,
That's why she was like, turn off the machine, and there's something I didn't tell you about this place.
It's almost like they're repeating the first phase of the Avengers. Do you remember Thor said something about that when he said you activated the Tesseract and that sent a signal to everybody else that said you're ready for a higher form of war. This is more on a multiversal level. Okay, we're sending something down to the quantum realm. We're letting all the multiverse know, hey, we're ready to be included in all of this. And
but why would you do that? Why would you want to send a beacon?
Well, they had no idea that
why
they had no idea that Kang was there or that any of this was there.
But
I guess Janet did, but that's not what she was trying to.
Why send the beacon to start with?
Well, she said there was an explanation. Let's see.
People still need help, Dad. That's
People
why
still
we
need
made
help.
This. Like a satellite for deep space, but quanta.
And so it's a satellite. It's not like sending out a message like, "Do you need help? We're here to help."
Yeah, but it's coming back. So
it's a deep space satellite. We send satellites into deep space. This is just like an alien discovering a satellite we send into deep space, like the Hubble telescope, and then being like, "Oh, well, based on its trajectory, there's Earth. Let's go screw them up because we found your satellite, bro." It's just the same thing, but with small instead of big.
With quantum.
That makes sense to me.
Instead of, yeah.
Especially if you don't know that there's like armies of things in the microverse, the quantum realm, apparently trying to get out and kill you.
I ask myself a lot of questions.
I like that he becomes employee of the century at Baskin and Robbins. Baskin and Robbins don't play, man. Baskin and Robbins always finds out.
I like that he just kind of accepted, because that kind of feeds into the whole Endgame thing where he had the one scene where he says, you want to take a picture with me? I'm Ant-Man. And they're like, oh, we don't even know who you are. We don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
And he's kind of accepting that now. It's like, well, at least I'm still in the group now. At least Spider-Man, sure, why not?
No matter where I go, people always say the same thing to me. Thank you, Spider-Man. It's good. Grant's in the chat saying, how you doing, folks?
Grant.
Just watched Doctor Who latest. It's emotional. So MCU all revving up for Secret Invasion and Quantumania. Yeah, Secret Invasion is closer than Quantumania technically, but the Quantumania trailer just came out, and so we're taking a chance to look at it. There's some interesting characters there. Well, actually,
all right, Debbie, who is it?
I have no clue.
Oh. You're the one that always researches this stuff.
I have no clue.
Yeah, that one I don't even know. What could his name be?
People who live down there, I guess.
Shiny head.
The Eye.
Yeah. I mean, will we see Loki in this at all?
That's an interesting question. And I guess it would also depend on if the time, whatever they're called, Time Masters, Time Lords.
TVA.
Yes, the Time Variance Authority. Yes, if their citadel or whatever is located in the quantum realm, which was never confirmed, but that's been a theory of a lot of people, because there's a one point in Loki when they like look out the window and it's like it looks kind of like the city that we see here.
Mm-hmm. And what the hell? What's
he building?
What's Bill Murray?
Bill Murray is one of the denizens of the quantum realm, and
is he
he's
like
in
the
movie,
grandmaster of the quantum realm?
There was a lot of talk that he was going to be Cosmo the space dog.
Well, clearly he's not.
He was just going to be the voice of the dog.
No, they got a female for that, I thought.
And look at those rings. Do those rings remind you of anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Superman.
Okay, I was going more like the 10 rings of Shang-Chi, but sure, let's talk about a DC property. All right, touche. Yes. Other than Superman, does it remind you of anything recently in the MCU? It looks
Miss Marvel and
similar to Shang-Chi's rings, especially since these are literally rings, and who knows what they're gonna do. There's some more rings. Look at all these rings. What is this guy? Lord of some sort of
Lord of the Rings?
Ring. Look,
some sort of ring lord or something.
And they got their own Star Wars cantina going on there.
Just because
they're just ripping from all the properties, aren't they?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Paul Rudd. It's great to see Ant-Man with like kind of a more serious film of his own, because I know Paul Rudd's still going to be hilarious in it, but I think also Ant-Man hasn't had like a big stakes, or certainly not this level big stakes. Like,
yeah. It's always been in his little universe, but
it's like a comedic throwaway kind of movie. Like, you're going to have fun, but it's not going to like change the balance of power in the MCU. Well, this one's like, this might change the balance of power.
They got so the Ant-Man films I've always enjoyed them because yes, Paul Rudd is hilarious and he's funny, but it's found that perfect balance of funny and serious. It knows when to take itself seriously, and Paul Rudd knows when to turn it off and say, okay, I got to be serious for this part of it, but as soon as I'm done, I can go back to being funny again. So I'm hoping that that's what's going to be going on here. Is they'll just continue in the same vein.
Let's watch it once more with the sound on. What were you going to say, Debbie? Before we do that?
His at one point during this trailer, his daughter is in a suit. And she becomes one of the young Avengers. Somewhere down the line.
Yeah, they're setting that up. We just met Scar at the end of She-Hulk. We've got Wanda's kids somewhere in some reality being little jerks. Singing the ice cream song. God, that was so weird. That was just Multiverse of Madness. What happened to you? I had such high hopes. Oh, man. Like, I have high hopes for this one, too, but I'm like, I don't know, because I saw Multiverse of Madness, and I liked the trailers for that, and then I saw it, and I was like, not saying it was bad, but
could have been better.
There were like there were certain expectations of mine that I guess it didn't meet, but I did have a fun time with it regardless. Let's watch this trailer again.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense. But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
People still need help, Dad. That's why we made this. Like a satellite for deep space, but quantum.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm. Turn it off. Now!
Why wouldn't you have warned us? This is what all the CGI artists on She-Hulk were actually working on. You have to animate this whole movie.
on the phone. I should have listened to my own mind.
There were no location shots here. Everything was on a green screen.
We actually went to the concert realm to shoot this.
There's something I never told you.
This place. It isn't what you think. I can get you home. And give you more time. If you help me. So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
So yeah,
it scares. I'm kind of scared for Scott because he's gonna get the shit beat out of him.
Well, yeah, he's going up.
I kind of wonder if he'll make it out or not. I don't know, but it's scary.
Grant said, "Freaky how Michael Douglas looks like Jon Stewart in some ways in the trailer." Not wrong. Yeah. Maybe it's the beard because they both grew beards at one point, and I think, yeah, with that beard, he does gonna look. I didn't think of it until I heard your comment. That's good.
Michael.
So
Douglas.
what was Kang? He had that ball and he was putting it in some kind of cylinder.
Is that the new? Is that the new Infinity Stone?
It's assembling something. Yeah, this is my super gun. It's the best gun ever. Better than some stupid boxing gloves with. That you bedazzled. Nice bedazzled boxing glove, Thanos. That's how I'm going to take over the world. No, he's got this army, but it's tiny. So I guess they're trying to get out of the quantum realm. Does Kang not know how to do that? How did you get here? Let me ask you that.
Does he have some kind of a time traveling chair or throne or something? I thought I seen something. Somebody mentioned that on TikTok, and
that again does
look it up and I forgot.
That outdoes his Thanos' throne as well. I mean, his floats. This one can travel through time. And the Avengers don't even really exist anymore at this point. We're gonna have to have the new Avengers.
Well, and then you got the Guardians and Thor who are off-world.
Yeah, well,
they even Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
Captain Marvel's running around somewhere.
She's somewhere. Oh yeah, other people need me too. Okay, well, this is for the stakes of the universe again. You really need to get on board with this.
We need you here toward the front of the timeline.
Yeah, at the beginning of the crisis. Yeah, it doesn't help if there's like a massive crisis that's going to affect the entire galaxy, and you're like, I have to help this planet. Well, you'd be helping them more by helping all of us. Okay. So that's pretty interesting. I doubt we'll see Loki in this.
Maybe an end credit scene just to set up season 2.
Could be something.
I could see that. That wouldn't surprise me.
Although if they did have a big scene in there with him and something happened, that would be pretty cool. I wouldn't be mad at it, but I also don't expect it to happen. You know what I mean?
I would be mad.
No, I'd be like, this could be awesome because you get Owen Wilson, you get some Tom Hiddleston in this with all these guys. That would be great. But I just think that's like too much.
Are we not going to get his security crew in this one? I wonder.
Oh, his buddies,
his wombats.
Those wombats, yeah, his crew. I doubt it.
Maybe it's
just because I'm pretty sure one of the guys said they weren't going to come back for any more. But then again, minds can change on that type of thing when it comes to a paycheck. But also, it seems like this movie's pretty far removed from where they would be involved in it. Because the whole thing about their involvement is like they're doing stuff with like the superpower. The Ant-Man and the Wasp are doing stuff with the superpowers, and they're like backup. They're the guy in the chair, you know?
Yeah.
And for this, it seems like they're all down there. Not to say that they couldn't somehow still work them into the plot, but it seems like it's much more focused on what's happening in the Quants as opposed to. And like I said, this seems to be a more serious entry into the Ant-Man trilogy, and they're primarily comic relief. So,
and
comic relief in an already comedic, you know, it's
that's something I've never understood. And maybe it's just me, but you had made mention of one of them said they didn't want to come back, they didn't want to do the character again, and I'm looking at it on, you know, this side of the glass, looking at it going, if I was in a Marvel movie,
how would you ever?
Why would you that you knew was going to make money?
How comfortable and wealthy are you?
Yeah, exactly. You knew that movie was going to be huge, and you knew that there was going to be so much stuff going on with it. Why would you not want to play that character as much as you possibly could?
He also had said that a while ago. I just remember reading this like a while. So, he definitely could have flipped on that once he, you know, found out how big the third movie was going to be. Because he might have just been like, we're in these throwaway Marvel movies, and it's just like I'm just there as comic relief. I don't want to do this anymore. And then it's like, all right, so the next one is going to be the setup for the biggest thing to happen in Marvel since Endgame. And it's like, or since Infinity War, really. So it's like,
oh crap, I kind of screwed up.
So when do you guys see me back? Yeah. Could be a situation like that.
You know what? I would milk that if I had a character, not necessarily a backup character, but even like one of the smaller, let's say Hercules. You're the Hercules character, and they put you in 4 or 5 different movies. I would milk that character for all it's worth. I mean, I would just play Hercules until I was so old that they finally said, no, you're too dang old. You cannot play Hercules anymore.
No one believes you're Hercules anymore.
And then you go on the Comic-Con circuit and you just do Comic-Cons 49 weeks a year and sell your autograph for $150 a pop, and people are lining up to see you.
Sweet life.
Oh, horrible life. Horrible.
Living the dream.
It's terrible.
So, yeah, there's a lot of potential with this film. Probably this is my most anticipated thing since Multiverse of Madness, and before that for me it was Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm pretty sure
as far as just the movies, or
I'm saying pretty much everything. Like, I wasn't anticipating Miss Marvel, and while I enjoyed it, I didn't think it didn't blow my mind or anything. And Multiverse of Madness, while it was one of my most anticipated movies of years, actually let me down a little bit, maybe because I was anticipating it too highly. This one I'm just looking forward to because it looks like it's going to be visually extravagant. Like, they're pouring CGI into this, like they've got it to spare, which if you've seen She-Hulk, you know they don't. And
Stop it.
I can't help myself. Yeah, but I mean, just from this trailer, it's like a lot of this movie, not just like characters in it, not just some special effects. It's like, hey, everything, the backgrounds, the characters, all of it, like the whole time for a lot of this movie, because I have to imagine they get sucked into this fairly early on.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's got Michael Douglas in it, and you can't go wrong with Michael Douglas.
And they've got to CGI him for the whole movie, and I just remember in the first Ant-Man when he punched the guy in the face, and I was like, way to go, Michael Douglas.
And he was carrying around a tank in his pocket.
Show him his boss. He did that to you full size. Imagine what he's like when you can't see him coming. Well, that guy shouldn't have talked about his dead wife like that. Well, I thought she was dead. She was actually just hanging out here with Kang. I didn't tell you about Kang because I was the Princess Leia to his Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, snap.
And I didn't want to get into that. And since he's a Time Lord or whatever, it was actually a lot longer. That's another thing they don't mention. Like, she's been gone for however long, and she's definitely aged, but doesn't time works differently here, or doesn't happen here. Time adheres to whatever plot we decide we need here.
I noticed that in the scene where she's walking up, she's putting on her hood, and I don't know if that's is that Cassie that's got the yeah, it's got the little Padme hat on in the background.
Ooh. She does.
Right there, right there.
Yeah. That does.
They repurposed it from episode 1.
Yeah, they're like, we got all these props now because we bought it.
We're gonna
Is there
use
anything
them,
from Star Wars we could throw into this? What about in the cantina scene?
How many aliens from Star Wars can we put in the cantina without people saying,
something.
"Wait a minute"? We'll just make an Easter egg.
Always got to have a bartender with extra limbs who can pass out more drinks faster. Actually, that reminds me of Men in Black 2, where they have like the guy who's sitting in the mail sorting machine and he's just like chucking the envelopes.
No smoking in here.
Boom, chicka chicka boom. Bang, tickang, boom, banang, tickang. Oh, Men in Black 2. Apparently, a lot of people didn't like that. I thought it was hilarious.
It was great.
They literally played off the first one so well and did everything in reverse, like to re-neuralize Kay in the same way that they had to like introduce. This is the first suit. This is the last suit you ever wear.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we'll have to see if this is just the introduction to Kang, or will he actually be kicking some major butt in this. This looks to be just about him trying to leave. It seems like he needs Ant-Man's help.
You know, I know
he says like he can give him more time, so maybe he has time control, but he doesn't have.
He's not able to leave.
But that doesn't make any sense because the TVA could go anywhere with those portals. And if he's in control of the TVA, then shouldn't he be able to
go anywhere?
Unless something has changed, and in the dialogue somewhere he's going to be like, this guy named Loki showed up and he corrupted one of my best agents. And
I'm hoping it's not like in Ant-Man 2 when we saw the preview. One of the previews was like the end credit scene was the ant playing the drums, and it was in the preview, but that's like, okay, well, where is it in the movie? It's not here. Oh, that's the end credit scene. Okay, I hope we're not getting a whole lot of, you know, the scenes we get with Kang are going to be the mid-credit and end-credit scenes. I hope that's not the case.
No.
I hope so as well. It doesn't seem to be, because it seems like there's too much of him just in this trailer for that to even...
Yeah, well, boner alert. Hello.
So now you're back from outer space. I just walked in, find you here with that said look upon your face.
And didn't
Ooh, let the dogs out.
He who shall, or
he who remains.
Yeah, he who.
I thought you were about to say
not the Harry Potter one.
He who shall not be named.
I was getting my fandoms all screwed up. Oh Lord.
They are all combining. That's when I was like, what are they? Time Lords, the Time Masters, Time Variants. Right, their version of it.
Didn't he say something about there's several different versions of him? So I'm wondering if we might get different versions of him
there's
in
different
this
versions
movie.
Well, that was the whole thing about the Time Variance Authority was made so that there was just the one, and they didn't get caught up in the multiversal war, because when they do, then there's like a bunch of different variants of him at war with like each other, and then I guess the one that wins that war then just takes over everything.
So we might see different excuse me, we might see different versions of him in this movie. And in season 2 of Loki, that's also a possibility too.
Is Bill Murray wearing the same costume that Jeff Goldblum wears in Ragnarok? Let's see.
No, it's totally different, I think. Bill says, looks like it's all blue.
Where is he? Did I go past it? I definitely think that I did. Yeah, where are you, Bill Murray? There he is. Does seem elaborate. I don't think it's exactly the same.
That's different.
He looks like he's looking for Tennille there. Debbie got it.
Captain and Tennille.
Yes. Yeah, Jeff's was more of a Roby type thing.
Love Men in Black. Maybe we'll have a Men in Black day because that's technically a Marvel comic.
It really is. We should.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can do the animated cartoon too.
They did.
It was on for a little while.
Like a season. They had.
But yeah, it was a comic first. That's how Men in Black came to be.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
Stuart may have given us an idea then.
Way to go, Stuart. MIB2 is good. I agree. So anything else, you guys, on Quantumania? Coming out pretty soon, actually. So this is the first trailer we've gotten.
February, yeah.
February, yeah.
Like 4 months away.
Too long.
I was surprised it was that soon because, like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's coming right up.
They pushed the dates for a bunch of stuff back. So the fact that this one didn't get touched just kind of...
I think it originally got pushed back, like, from when they first announced it.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't part of the recent bunch of pushbacks.
The recent rearrangements. I wish they quit doing that.
Yeah, but...
Like, if you have no idea, then just don't say anything. Just say what your upcoming projects are, and they'll be out when they'll be out. Don't tell, don't say,
Like Werewolf by Night. Nobody knew that one was coming. It was like all of a sudden, holy crap, there's another one. All right.
They have to do it for, like, investor purposes. Hey, give us your money so that we can give you money.
Well,
make the
with
money.
such a big hit, now they're going to do all kinds of special presentations.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
Well, that just comes out on Disney Plus, though. So they'd have to find a way to try and market that. That's the interesting thing is, like, I don't see that many commercials anymore unless I look them up because I spend a lot of effort making sure I don't have to view commercials when I'm streaming things, looking at things or watching. I don't like commercials. So then I was like, but I realized I'm seeing a lot less trailers because I'm not watching, I don't deal with commercials, and that's when you would see a trailer. So I have to, like, consciously myself look up what trailers are coming out. And if it's not like a Marvel, there's movies coming out that I was like, what? Well, Black Adam just came out like this past weekend, and I was like, oh, that's out?
Forgot about that.
Like, I knew that there was a trailer that had come out at one point, but I was like, I didn't know that it was, like, out now. So
yeah, it's all over TikTok. Well, that and House of Dragons.
Yeah, but I also don't, like, use TikTok to actually watch videos. I upload stuff there, but I don't actually ever spend time just, like, watching videos on TikTok.
I don't watch poignant videos. I watch silly, funny things.
Well, I just
and cute cats.
Yeah, I watch kitty cats, and sometimes there's some interesting trial footage on there, and I like true crime. And then all the reactions to House of Dragons.
I love strange thing to happen in a cat video. Oh, that's something else. Okay. Yeah, so I'm always aware of it for MCU stuff because, this show, I'm, have to keep aware of it. But other than that, I actually have to look up and go to, like, what new trailers are out. And there's a list, and I'll just watch the trailers on my own time. Because I don't mind watching trailers as much. Like, I enjoy those. Actually, like, if I'm watching something like the Super Bowl, or if I'm with people that are watching, a sports game, and I end up having to see commercials, usually I'm, like, actually analyzing the commercial way more deeply than anything. I'm just like, okay, let's see. I always love to see which commercials have, like, the tiny print at the bottom, the disclaimers, and it's pretty much every commercial. And then my favorite game is, like, actually
driver on a closed course.
Yeah, read what they actually put down there, and it's like, nothing in this commercial is actually real. You engage in this product at your own risk. No one should actually ever use this. more Moon Knight. And I think isn't Loki like the only one that's confirmed for
a second season?
Second season at this point.
She-Hulk
is confirmed.
I think so. I think they confirmed it before she even started.
I don't think so. I just read that she was not optimistic about having a second season. She-Hulk season 2. If there's this is Esquire says if there's a season 2 for She-Hulk, it won't be coming anytime soon. That was 8 days ago. Season 2 gets disappointing update from Tatiana Maslany, whatever. So what did she say? She said in a recent interview with Extra, she addresses She-Hulk Attorney at Law's chances at a season 2 renewal, and this is more She-Hulk than I plan on talking about. And so this is her quote. She said, she hasn't heard any talk about another season, and she doesn't seem to be expecting any. Here's what she said. She said, I mean, I don't think so yet. Kevin in the scene seems to be very dismissive of this idea, so if we're basing this off the real Kevin, it doesn't seem likely. But he was also, I think, just trying to get rid of Jen because she was asking too many questions. So that's all about the season finale.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I could be coy and have some little secret, I would do that, but I really don't. I don't know anything. So that has not been confirmed. Season 2 is not been confirmed.
Season 2 of Miss Marvel, supposedly they've greenlit season 2 for Miss Marvel, but nothing has been confirmed yet. What's her name? Iman Veliani was asked questions about season 2 at the D23 Expo. She said they don't tell me anything, but she has expressed that she would like to come to do a second season.
Yeah, I'm Stuart, but
then you had Grant said more Moon Knight, and there was that obscure tweet from Oscar Isaacs. Caught him in Cairo, and they said, "What are you doing in Cairo?" And he says, "What do you think we're doing in Cairo?"
Well, and then he was at some Comic-Con. I couldn't tell you when or what Comic-Con, but somebody asked him about season 2, and he was just like, we will see Moon Knight in some form or fashion, more or less is what he said. I'm looking for what's it called? Is it Midnight Suns or Sinister Six? Or no, not Sinister Six. Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns.
Or somewhere in maybe Fighting King. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, that's why
he is a god after all. Maybe he'll be in the 5th Thor movie.
You could say he'll be back, but not. They don't necessarily say in a season. Like a season
not
2.
necessarily, no. So I mean,
like Loki,
I wouldn't mind it. I love the series. So
Loki so far is the only one with confirmed season 2. WandaVision probably will not be getting. I mean,
well, it killed. Well,
2. Yeah, exactly. For various
Wanda.
Reasons, it's just not set up to happen.
I know, Debbie.
Like
that's why I quoted it.
Yeah.
I know.
And I know what you mean, and that's why I was saying, you know what I mean. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's like, well, he's not Falcon anymore, so why would you? So those ones, especially, they're not set up for a season. It's not like they were. Now, She-Hulk definitely could have. It is a show that could have a season 2. They set it up so it ended right where with her being a lawyer at a firm to do the thing, so they could. But the fact that season 1 went so far out of its way to just make fun of anyone who criticized the show. And they self-admittedly made a show that is easy to criticize. Means there are plenty of casual fans out there that are like, I have no desire to see She-Hulk again if it's going to be another situation like that. Now, if they change some things up with the show, if they actually made it a legal comedy as opposed to a crappy show that then they erase everything at the end and say whoop-de-doo, then yeah, you might have a better shot at retaining an audience, but I just don't think it's as big of a sell. Like, as far as MCU goes, like, probably everyone who's an MCU fan is interested in seeing Ant-Man Quantumania. But not everyone who's an MCU fan is interested in She-Hulk season 2.
You know, it's actually kind of interesting because I'm thinking about it now as we're talking about season 2. So WandaVision, it finished, and where did it go? It went into Multiverse of Madness because Wanda was,
and we don't even know. White Vision hasn't even shown up again.
Well, White Vision hasn't shown up, but at least Wanda's been there. Then you had Loki, and Loki was like, "Oh, here's season 2." Then you had Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Well, the end title card of that was Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Plus, now we're getting Captain America: New World Order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So all of these shows are really flowing into a movie, but the one that's not Loki is the one that nothing's been followed up in a movie about Loki yet. Miss Marvel, same thing, going into the Marvels. It ended with what's her name showing back up. So,
and the Loki thing, that maybe they are giving that a second season because that storyline is going to be more important to later in this,
right?
Yeah,
relation to Kang and all that.
Yeah. So that one, and it's not to say that these other ones have nothing to do with Kang, because eventually everything's going to have to do with Kang. But this is like more directly like, here's what's happening with Kang at this point. While other people are out doing their other things, here's where we are as far as like that whole story.
Yeah.
So, that's why shows like Loki and movies like Quantumania have the advantage. They're like the closest thing you get to an Avengers team up without actually being an Avengers thing. It's like the lead up to the Avengers, where before that was just like the individual movies. Now they've kind of got everyone's kind of teaming up and doing stuff on their own time, and it's basically the mini team ups that are going to lead to the big show. And Secret Invasion is also going to be a big part of that.
Yep. It wouldn't surprise me if Secret Invasion moved into helped push Miss Marvel toward the end of it, maybe an end credit scene or something. Or not Miss Marvel, the Marvels.
The Marvels, yeah.
Yeah.
And Grant said Guardians of the Galaxy 3, well anticipated. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that one. Isn't that one like a Christmas time?
No. That's different.
One.
That's
the Christmas one is like a special presentation. It's a special Christmas thing. I think that's only on Disney Plus. I think
it's only on Disney Plus in December.
But then, the third Guardians, which I don't even know where that's in the lineup now anymore.
No idea.
Well, this says May 5th, 2023, so not too long after Ant-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that a current list? I didn't even know they were filming.
I just Googled it. Filming began in November 2021 and lasted until early May 2022, so they've already finished shooting it. And it's scheduled to be released May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. So I was wrong. It wasn't Christmas. It was Cinco de Mayo.
That means on Star Wars Day we'll get to go see it.
Yes.
That'll be the preview night. May 4th.
Maybe they'll fight a Star Wars, and now everyone in the crowd that's a Star Wars will say, the Star Wars.
Well, eventually with Harrison joining the MCU.
Yeah, Red Hulk will bust out and be like, "Don't tell me the odds."
Wait a minute, because there was a meme about that, and it said something along the line of Peter Parker knows about Star Wars, but for some reason he can't put together the fact that Mace Windu and Nick Fury are the same guy. And I'm looking at it going, oh, now we're going to get Harrison Ford. We're going to get Han Solo in there. He still won't recognize it.
That meme always just never, because every time I see that, I'm like, I get what humor you're attempting here. Because, Samuel Jackson plays Mace Windu and you like Star Wars. And I'm like, yeah, he also plays a million other characters. That's how acting works. You act in a thing. That doesn't mean next time you show up in a movie where someone's seen a popular, they're like, oh my God, it's Mace Windu. No, because that's not how acting works. I just want to slap the fact
that whenever Parker talks about a movie, it's usually an older movie, not the newer ones. And when
Aliens.
Aliens, and he references the original
you're still taking it too far. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if he had seen Pulp Fiction's an older movie. He's seen that. Well, oh my gosh, you're one of the guys from Pulp Fiction. No, because he's not that person. In this universe, he's Nick Fury. In this universe, he is not. That's not how that works. That's just, unless you are like a fourth wall breaking character and you can know those and say those type of things. If you know that you're in a movie based on a comic book, then yes, that's fine. But given that he's unaware of that and this is just his reality, no, he wouldn't.
I think he was in Goodfellas too.
Why
wasn't
would that happen? Anyway, that's me taking the meme too seriously.
I think Sam Jackson was in Goodfellas as well.
Now I just need to watch that movie again.
He played I think he was the driver for the Lufthansa heist.
Sam Jackson.
Oh, he was in Coming to America. First Coming to America.
Are we just listing off movies that he's in at this point?
He's
that's going to take a long time.
He's been in a lot of good stuff.
He's been in Snakes on a Plane. Yeah, it's a classic.
Django Unchained.
Keenan's in that as well. I mean, yeah, he's been in a bunch of Pulp Fiction, like I said. Yeah.
Shaft.
Quentin Tarantino. He was in Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Glass Man, Unbreakable.
Oh.
He's just been in tons and tons of movies. Nick Fury. I mean, look.
Why does Nick Fury look like Samuel L. Jackson?
Zeus from Die Hard.
Oh, yes.
We could go on. He's in over 500. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Jurassic Park, which is one of the best ones. Hold on to your butts. Deeply see. No, see, we're just gonna keep going. All right. All right. Do we have anything else, guys? We didn't even talk about Fantastic Four, but we're at an hour, and I'm fine with that. So, you guys got anything else on Quantumania? Yep. We are just listing Samuel Jackson.
I'm hoping we're not setting up for a for another. I'm keeping my expectations low.
Trying to avoid.
Gotta wear the shirt. Go buy the merch.
I know.
We got merch.
Shirt. It's a good shirt. It's a great shirt, actually. I'm really proud of us that we came up with that. Boner alert. That's not the type that you would think. It's an MCU boner alert, which is God, what a mess that was. Anyway, Quantumania, we're hoping that it's a boner alert and not a boner alert. Definitely looking forward to it, though. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. But Wakanda Forever is the thing that's coming out like in 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
so
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
That's going to be the next thing that we're going to be talking about really on this show, because I think next Monday is Halloween, so I'm not sure that we will have a show. We might, if you're around, turn it on and see if we're here, but I'm not guaranteeing that we will be. It's a holiday. But yeah, we'll be back after that at some point to talk about Wakanda Forever. See exactly what shakes out, how that goes down. Until then, David, what do you got going on?
2 things. I got Thursday night, GNN Cantina Happy Hour. We're talking Andor episode 8. Episode 7 was great. We all loved it. Episode 8 coming up. And then also in December, I got this. I got me a Lego Star Wars Advent calendar. I've bought one every year since like 2012. And so starting in December, on December the 1st, I'm going to be doing a live stream every night building the build for the day.
Awesome.
So, 1st through the 24th.
And that'll be going up on Geek News Now.
That will be going up on Geek News Now, yeah.
Excellent. All right, Debbie, anything else to add before we get out of here? Nope. All right, me neither. All right, see you next time. Thanks for joining us on MCU Mondays. We will be back in like 2 weeks, maybe next week again. I don't know. Let's stop confusing people. That's the end of the show.
Shit! Language. Wait a second. No one else is going to deal with the fact that Cap just said language? Just slipped out.
Find the scepter.
And for gosh sake, watch your language.
That's not going away anytime soon.
You bet your ass.
Steve, you said a bad language word.
Did you tell everyone about that?
The hero's imprint.
Out with the platinum bastard.
Steve doesn't like that kind of talk.
You know what, Romanov? Fury, you son of a bitch.
Ooh, you kiss your